What's up, dudes? This is Creative Cat Productions branch manager, El Señor Gato, and I'm here with a quick update about the new Renovation Collection cartridge for the Evercade that was released at the end of March 2022. We've been playing it, enjoying it, but there's a big problem. There's a game-ruining glitch that makes not one, but potentially two games virtually unplayable. Specifically, text boxes and menu screens in Exile and Beast Wrestler are not functioning properly. First, let's take a look at Exile, because the loss of this game is the most disappointing. Exile is an action RPG that relies on a lot of in-game text and requires item management by way of in-game menus. So unless those are emulated correctly, you're not going to have a very good time with this weird yet aesthetically fascinating game. This shitty desert village is the first area of the game. It reminds me a lot of my hometown. Let's chat it up with some of these vatos and see what's up. Oh, what's that, homie? You're like talking too fast. We should call you Mumbles and shit.
Damn, fool, he's talking shit, dog.
So yeah, this is how reading dialogue is supposed to go. You engage a character in conversation, and their dialogue begins printing in a text box, indicating speech. You press a button once, and you can skip the printing sequence in order to save time. The game just cuts to the character's completed sentence, press the button again, and the text box is canceled, ending the conversation. But the Evercade emulator running Exile seems to treat your inputs like a rapid-fire sequence of button presses. Thus, if you're trying to save time by cutting off the text printing sequence, you end up actually ending the entire conversation. The completed text box does appear, but only for a split second before being cancelled out by a phantom input command. This means the only way to read dialogue on the Evercade is to sit there and watch every single little word print out on the screen. This sucks, but this is merely a nuisance. The game-crippling issue comes with trying to use the game's menus. This is what equipping and unequipping your weapons and armor is supposed to look like. You open up the menu, select your weapon, and you can equip, unequip, and do all that other good stuff that makes game progression in RPGs possible. This is what the same process looks like on the Evercade. As you can see, the menu treats my every move as if I were going apeshit on the controller. But I assure you, I'm as calm as a cucumber. So why then is this happening on the screen? What's going on? If you can't use the menus in Exile, then you might as well just stop playing, put on your shoes, and walk into a swimming pool, because there's no point in trying to play this. Second, let's look at Beast Wrestler, a weird wrestling game featuring fantasy-based monsters. Included in this game is a relatively complex tournament mode, which is driven by a story and includes a lot of in-game text and menus that must be navigated as you progress through the game. A key feature is monster customization, and in fact, the first thing you'll be asked to do is to name your monster. Unfortunately, on the Evercade, this is completely broken. One tap on the D-pad sends the cursor flying all over the screen like a fat kid in a candy store.
Oh my god, the chocolate.
So far, I can't get far enough in this game to prove it, but I'm guessing that as with Exile, this isn't the only place where the menus and text aren't functioning properly. So for us, that means 2 out of 12 games included are virtually unplayable. But I also know that we're far from alone, because currently this exact issue has been recognized and is being discussed within the Evercade community on Reddit and Facebook. As of right now, there is no known cause, and I have yet to hear back from Blaze, whom I've contacted by way of Twitter. It does appear to be a problem native to the cartridge, and the glitches are the same on both the Evercade handheld and the VS. Oddly enough, though the game has been reviewed by a few big YouTubers like Mad Little Pixel, no one as of yet seems to have noticed these problems. In some cases, I think it's possible that reviewers didn't actually play this game off of the Evercade, but may have simply quickly captured some footage off of an emulator. Crazy Burger, however, is one of the best Evercade channels on YouTube, and in his review, it's quite clear that he was using the Evercade. At one point, he even struggles with the text canceling glitch for a bit.
I think the button seems a little bit oversensitive when I'm speaking to the characters here.
But he must not have played very far into the game, or else I'm sure he would have noticed that the menus were non-functional. We've also play-tested the other 10 games from the Renovation Collection, and so far everything else seems to be working well. I have to admit that for a minute we thought Treasure was broken too, but it turns out that those game menus are just unintuitive by design. The game is supposed to be broken. All along though, my biggest concerns were about audio emulation. because Renovation games have beautiful soundtracks. And so far I'm happy to report that everything seems to be intact. But whatever is causing this menu and text glitch in Exile and Beast Wrestler needs to be fixed. Currently, the Renovation Collection seems to have been pulled from Amazon.com. It's no longer easy to find, and if you do find it, it's now described as being unavailable. So I'm guessing that Blaze might be aware of the problem, and that they've pulled the cartridge from circulation. To be honest, even without these games, this cartridge would still be pretty great. Beast Wrestler is by far the worst game included anyway, but I know a lot of people will be very disappointed about Exile, because that game has kind of a cult fan base. Hopefully, either Blaze can issue a firmware update that will fix this, just like they've done in the past, or failing that, they'll allow us to exchange our cartridges for ones that work. It's a real shame that this had to occur with the Renovation Collection. This collection is the main reason we even got an Evercade in the first place. But Blaze has successfully dealt with these kinds of issues in the past. We'll see what they do going forward, but it really does seem like they need people to more thoroughly playtest these products before they go out. Anyway, we just wanted to keep you all informed about this issue in case you're interested. We're actually working on a very lengthy and very detailed review of the Evercade VS right now. So we're going to have more Evercade content in the near future. I just kind of wish I knew about this glitch before finishing my script. But let's just consider this video a preemptive addendum to that. So, did any of you all get the Renovation Collection for the Evercade? Have you been experiencing problems too? Please let us know about this and more in the comments. And once again, we thank you very much for watching and subscribing to our channel. And no offense to fat kids. Hulk Hogan used to be a fat kid and he went on to be the WWF and WCW World Heavyweight Champion. Yeah. Later, dudes.